My name is Theophile Bourgeois. I'm a musician, artist, and a native son of South Louisiana. I'm inspired by the world around me and driven by an insatiable curiosity for life's potential. Join me in my quest for a life most lived as we celebrate those bold enough to celebrate themselves. This is Renegade. Today I'm going to share a little insight into a backwoods delicacy, the oyster mushroom.
Hey guys, Theophile here. So, out in the woods looking for bucks, trying to get them deer, but been kind of striking out. So one good thing, we had some fog roll in this morning, and fog means mushrooms. Okay, so I wanted to share a little bit of insight into picking the right mushroom, particularly the oyster mushroom. I think a lot of people are real apprehensive about eating wild mushrooms for good reason. You really shouldn't mess around if you don't know what you're doing. I used to pick them with my dad and uncles. We'd walk through the swamp after a good fall. We'd just pick them and fry them up. So I know what to look for, but even that, growing up doing it, I didn't want to, take for granted that I was, possibly grabbing something wrong. So there's actually very little chance that you're going to get a poisonous mushroom. There's nothing that resembles an oyster mushroom that is actually poisonous in North America. I'm going to show you a couple things you need to look for, some simple steps. You mark this little checklist on your oyster mushrooms. If you want to harvest your own mushrooms, which I highly suggest doing because they're delicious. And it's a fun thing to do, bring the kids, get out there and have some fun, get back to nature, baby. So let's go through the list. Check it out.
All right, here is my tried and true semi-foolproof oyster mushroom checklist. First, we're gonna look for the color of the mushrooms. It's gonna range anywhere from a white to a cream to a brown. Second, we gotta make sure they got smooth caps with no bumps on them. And third, the most important and easy way to separate these from other mushrooms is a decurrent gill pattern with no separate stem. That's important, and that'll save you a lot of time when trying to differentiate these mushrooms from others. Fourth is going to be the scent of the mushroom. It's got a strong anise, licorice, seafood kind of a smell to it. You can't mistake it once you know the smell. And lastly is going to be the type of tree you find them on. Usually in the South, it's going to be a willow tree. So now that we know what we're looking for, let's get to searching.
Y'all ready to go oyster? Y'all ready to go mushroom hunting, cuz? Let's do it.
So the first thing you need to find is some dying, decaying trees. Mushrooms break that down. That's what we're hunting right now. Dead tree. And it needs to be what's called a deciduous tree, which is any tree that drops its leaves. Now, there's much that can be said about a walk in the woods. The therapeutic value alone. But far from the noise, find yourself observant. And go for a walk. If it's after a fog, after a rain, study the trees. Study the decaying trees. And you'll find these clusters. The beauty in which they grow, I find spellbinding.
Alright, here we are. I got a little spot I like to check out, one of my favorite little flooded timber areas. We got this old dying willow tree, and we got a couple on there. Sure enough, came check it out. I've had this spot's always produced for me, so came back to it. Sure enough, got a couple little freshies on it, so we're gonna take them bad boys with us, throw them in the mix, put them in a Ziploc. Up here, you can see, we got some nice fresh ones right up here. Fresh ones right there, next to some old dried up ones that I missed. Let's see what we got here. I usually just take my knife and kind of get right along, right at the base, just cut it just like that. Then scoop that baby up in the stream, just like that. Throw it on my little pile. So got this good stack here. Got this good little haul from this log. I always come back and check this spot, and it always seems to produce. So it's not a whole lot, but it's good enough for me. That's a good little bit. Try and find another spot. I got a few spots where I know produce, so I'll kind of check those. But also when you kind of on the trails or even on the highway, like kind of scope, if you know what you're looking for, look for a little white on the sides of trees. And you see that, and chances are it's gonna be oyster mushrooms popped up. So when they stacked up good, I mean, God, that's what you got, what you're looking for right there in the wild. Thanks, Mother Nature.
So again, what we're looking for is what's called a decurrent gill. That's going to run from the tip of the cap all the way down the stem. And if you notice, the stem's connected in one piece. There's no separate stem to the body of the mushroom itself. Don't be scared if you see a few bugs in there. If you're feeling froggy, eat them up. If you don't want to mess with them, just soak them in some salt water. It's all good. Another thing you'll notice about these, you'll see a deep brown color in some, down to a cream color in the others, and a white in the fresh ones. But the main thing you're looking for is the gill pattern is a dead giveaway. The way these gills grow, look at that beautiful smorgasbord of mushroom, baby. I'm about to punish y'all, put y'all in a batter, put y'all in a pan. Let's see what happens in the kitchen next. All right, we're back at the lodge, up in the kitchen, about to get down on it. We're gonna keep it simple, we're just gonna fry them up. All right, you can saute them, fricassee them, fry them, deep frying and everything's good. But this is how my dad would always do it. I mean, you can't go wrong when you deep frying anything, really, right? Then we'll kind of dress it up how we want. But this is real simple, kind of like the most fundamental way to go about doing this. We'll toss them up in that milk wash, just like anything else you're doing. And the smaller, like these little, see them little buttons, them little nuggets right there, that's that good stuff. So one thing that if you were here, hits you right off the bat. You can smell. It smells like anise. So, you know, if you're not familiar with what that is, black licorice, a little sambuca, Italian sausage. So it's got that kind of strong aroma to it. It's very unique to the oyster mushroom. Get you guys know what you're looking for. Get you suited up, booted up, get out there in the woods and find you some shrooms, baby. Find whatever kind you want. You know, freak what you feel. You want to get wild. The third eye opened up. Find up some psilocybin. I don't recommend it. So we're gonna shake them up, get them up in that Zatarans. Real good, like. Get all that bread, that flour. Boy, good. Good, get muggly. Ooh, mushroom time in the bayou. Mushroom time in the swamp. Yeah. Talking about cooking and shrooms. No. Going in. Need a little more. And I like to. It takes about that long to get a good full coat. You want to drop down to the F, and then you're ready. You're good. So that's about, you know, my papa taught me that. His papa taught him that. It's a little known Cajun secret y'all got now. So, you know, you're welcome. Now we going. I like to tease him a little bit. Just give him a little. Look at that, Josie.
Wow.
That's pretty though.
They do look pretty. Yeah, give it a little love.
You gotta think if you don't. I don't know any Cajun French, but if you say baked potato or sweet potato, sweet potato, on a baked potato, right? That's good. What you think? That looks right? That looks right to me.
Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
A baked potato. Dump them skunks.
All that hard work in the woods.
Man. I didn't find no deer, but I found them shrooms. Come on, you gonna try it? Let's see.
You eat one first.
I ain't eating that. Today's just one of them days. Fresh pick, oyster mushroom.
Don't do that, I'm not eating one.
Oh, it's good, try it. Let me get you try one.
I love mushrooms.
The last known recording of Josie LaCrosse. Oh, she did it, she gonna die.
I'm not.
I think she liked it.
No.
You don't eat mushrooms?
No.
Oysters or mushrooms?
No, and this is a combination of both.
Take it back.
Good.
Get a little one. Get a little one. See if you
Alright,
spit
this
it
little
out.
one? Okay.
Look at this one.
Okay.
You didn't get no remoulade?
Oh.
Oh, she gonna gag. Now, while it may not be for everyone, the oyster mushroom is an incomparable staple in the diet of the South Louisiana. And they serve as mementos of childhood memories of my father passing down a facet of our rich heritage that were passed on to him by his father and those before him. And now it's my turn to pass it on to my young sons and to show them all the ways that the land provides. And I think old Hank said it best, and a country boy can't survive. And no matter how many times I go out in search of these often overlooked and misunderstood organisms, I find myself more and more captivated by their unassuming beauty with each new cluster I come across. And I also find myself more and more grateful for the opportunity to participate in and share with you all a little bit of Louisiana heritage. So what'd y'all think?
Oh, we don't like it. No. Yuck.
Not a fan. You guys' throats feel like it's closing
Go back
up?
and get some. Oh, you don't want video. Oh, you said it.